No one knows what the future holds, but if a new house is in your future, I can help from a safe distance. I'm Nick Acosta, your downtown expert, and I'm hosting safe and sanitary open houses. Nothing is different except for temperature checks at the door and masks are required. But it still smells like there are fresh baked cookies in the oven. So come on by one of my safe and sanitary open houses, and I'll say welcome home from 6 feet away.
This is Home2All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast with your host, Nicholas Acosta. Nick sits down with guests to talk about real estate and how it works. Reach him at downtown.expert on Facebook and Instagram, or his website, www.downtown.expert, or call or text him at 407-508-8809. Enjoy the episode.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Nicholas Acosta, your host of the podcast Home2All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast, joining you live here at 1 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. I'm on with the podcast today, Sarry, Ibrahim. Sarry, welcome to the show. You're with Fin Asset, the financial asset protection. So how are you doing, sir? How are you today?
Hey, Nick, I'm good. Good. How are you?
Doing well. Staying warm here in Florida. Where are you at? You're up north, or?
I'm in Chicago, so it's nice now. It's like 70 now, but not for long. We have brutal winters here in Chicago, so getting ready for that.
Awesome. I've been up there before in the wintertime. I know how it is. It's cool. Crazy. So Sarry, let's go ahead and talk about real estate and real estate investing, as well as helping high net worth individuals with their financial goals and plans.
Yeah, absolutely. To kind of give the audience a little bit more like context, a little bit about my background, what I do. So I run a company, like you said, Financial Asset Protection. We're a financial services firm. We're located in Chicago, and we help clients in all 50 states. We help them grow wealth using infinite banking, as well as a lot of our clients are real estate investors. So that's the niche we've niched down to, is real estate investing. Like whether it's rental properties or flips or whatever the case is, or even limited deals as a limited partner and syndications. We've helped our clients use kind of different tools and different assets alongside each other to kind of give more of a compounding effect and to increase rates of returns, to help with tax benefits. So that's kind of who we are, what we do. To kind of go into more of a specific thing that I want to talk about on your podcast today, it's the use of infinite banking for real estate investing. So for those who buy homes, fix them up, sell them, or buy homes and then rent them out, or invest in deals, you could use that alongside infinite banking. Now, what is infinite banking? Infinite banking is the use of cash value whole life insurance to build up as much cash as you possibly can in the cash value life insurance policy, and then be able to borrow against that, leverage that to use for real estate deals as an active investor or as a passive investor in deals. Or it really doesn't have to be for real estate deals. You can use the funds for anything you want. There are no restrictions on what you could use the money for. Now, like a common question is like, why would somebody do that? Like why do whole life insurance, build up the cash value? Why not just go from bank account to real estate? And really, there's a lot of reasons why. Some of them are tax benefits. There's a lot of tax benefits when you use infinite banking. There's also asset protection when you're using infinite banking. Also, the ability to kind of grow your cash and use it at the same time, and the ability to pay yourself interest that you would otherwise pay to other people. Those are just some of the core reasons as to why people would use cash value whole life insurance along other real estate deals.
All right. So I had thought of a question while you were explaining that from what I was listening to. Is this something like, because I was just thinking about this yesterday and it just reminded me, sorry. Like, for instance, let's talk about say like institutional buyers like Redfin or Zillow and things like that. Me as a broker who owns my own brokerage. Now, is this something like that where with this program you're talking about or product you're talking about, is this, because I was just talking to my associates yesterday about wanting to become an institutional buyer where I could buy let's say a quadplex or other properties that I could fix up and turn around and list them as a broker. Is this something that your program or product relates to, like as a brokerage or business?
Absolutely, yeah. And there's so many ways you could use it as a brokerage, because I know that, for example, when you own your own brokerage, it can get a little bit, you can get creative. Like for example, you one of your functions probably, I'm assuming, is you're listing properties for people who want to sell. You're also
Right.
representing buyers who are looking to buy. You may also have your own properties, like your own investments, either that you own personally or that your company owns, that you list and manage. You may also have property management functions where you do property management for other people. And then sometimes it's all of the above. It's all of those in some way, shape, or form, all of the above. So yeah, using infinite banking, you can either use them for the investments for the properties. Let's say, for example, what's the name of your company?
Downtown Expert Realty.
So let's say Downtown Expert Realty wants to buy a property. Now I don't know how much values are in your market, but let's just say it's a 3-unit building for $500,000, and you wanted to buy it and own it as a company asset. So that way the rental income would go to the company. That's one of your assets that you own. Now there's a couple of ways you could buy that, right? Let's just say one of the ways is cash. If you had $500,000 in cash, you could buy it in cash. Another way is what most people do is they finance it. They would get a mortgage. If it's an investment, probably 20 to 25% down, right? That you would have to put down, and then you would finance the rest. And then there's a third way, and the third way would be through infinite banking. And this way would mean that if I have a whole life insurance policy and there's enough cash value in it, I could borrow against the life insurance policy and then buy the whole property, or I could borrow against the life insurance policy and then use for the down payment, or I could borrow against it and use for some of the down payment or some of the other closing costs that are associated with it. In other words, what I want to do is I want to use cash, my life insurance policy, alongside other investments. That's one angle. So you're using it to buy properties using your infinite banking policy. Another way you could use it and apply in your business is the company, Downtown Expert Realty, right? Downtown Expert Realty could buy could own a whole life policy. It would be an asset on their balance sheet, and then they would use that to pay their expenses, to hold their cash reserves. So pretty much everything would be held into that whole life policy that's owned by Downtown Expert Realty. Those are kind of two different ways. And then we could even get more technical. We could even say, for example, we want to use the policy to retain more employees in the future. And how would you do that? Let's say you hire somebody right now as a full-time employee and they're really good. You want to keep them, but you might be thinking, what if they, leave somewhere else? One thing you could do is you could apply a strategy where you own the infinite banking policy on them. They would be the insured. Your company would be the beneficiary and the owner of the policy. And then you would make premium payments towards it. Let's say, for example, for 10 years. So for 10 years, you would make premium payments towards the policy. And then you make a deal with the full-time employee. If you stay with me for 10 years, I'll guarantee you that I will transfer over the policy with the cash value and the life insurance to you. Now you, the employee, will be the owner of the policy. You'll get the cash value, and then you could change the beneficiary from the company to your spouse or your kids. So this way, if something happens to you, it goes to your family. This is a way to create an incentive for somebody to stay with you for a longer period of time. This way you can invest in them and train them and keep them as an employee, not have to worry about them going to somewhere else within that 10-year period. You could set it for 10 years, 20 years, however you and the employee have the agreement structured, you could set it for that long. So that's kind of some of the ways you could use it to retain capital and to become your own source of financing.
No, that's awesome that we got to do this interview today, because literally yesterday I was just talking to my colleagues and one of my associates about this, because like you said, when you have your own brokerage, you look for creative ways to generate more business. And we do have a property management division at Downtown Expert Realty.
Yeah.
We currently have one property that we manage in Sarasota County or Charlotte County, but we were looking for more, of course. But I was looking at it this way. I think in real estate, and you probably may agree with this or not, but in real estate, when you're a broker and you have your license, most of the time, yes, you do sell property. We do sell properties for individuals that want to sell their home or help buy the home that they would like to buy, get them to a lender, get them pre-approved or proof of funds if they're doing cash. But at the same time, I mean, that's great and all. I love doing that. But at the same time, if we want to continue to have assets like you're talking about, a book of business, one other way is to do this infinite banking where we buy properties, flip them or fix them, turn around and list them.
Yes.
Or, like you said, buy a quadplex, triplex, duplex.
Yeah.
Or an entire apartment building, and we rent it out and manage it where we don't have to share. We get the full amount from managing the property that we own versus like the property that we own right now is, what do you call it? The getting a percentage from our owner, which is not bad. Obviously, in rentals, or property management, it's all about volume.
Yes.
But I'd like to be able to expand on that more, where I can own stuff myself. Why can't I own like a duplex, triplex, or even a single family home that I rent out that I don't have to share that money with, where it comes directly into the business or reinvest in the business? So yeah, we'll definitely have to get together sometime down the road here in the near future together, talking about this infinite banking, because I think this is a valuable asset for my brokerage and others out there. So like with high net worth individuals, I mean, do you guys do also like stock planning or investment planning besides real estate, or or is this focused on real estate?
Yeah. So we definitely specialize in different areas as well. And by real estate, I mean the actual clients. So our clients are coming to us with real estate problems, specifically towards financing. So yeah, definitely. Our clients are real estate investors, they're business owners. One of my clients owns a manufacturing company. So really, we're kind of diverse and agile in the sense that we could take on different clients and talk about different things. Pretty much like, to kind of sum up like what we do is like, we help you solve different money problems, either too little of it or too much of it, and you kind of trying to leverage it in different places. So really, whichever way you're at. And something we do with our clients that makes us kind of like stand out from other financial services firms is we do the longest part of the process for us is the financial analysis process. It involves like we take a very thorough look into your financial situation, and we take a step back from our products and services that we sell and really try to just kind of get to understand what you want to do individually with an unbiased perspective. So in other words, I'm not talking to you in the sense that I can only sell, for example, for one insurance company, one product, and that's the only thing that's running through my mind. I'm talking to you in the sense that, what is it, Nick, that you need financially? What are your 5-year, 10-year, 20-year goals? And then I'm going to put together a solution that's going to help connect you to that goal. And I think it's really important. I think every real estate investor, every entrepreneur should have at least one of those people in their portfolio. They have their attorney, they have their accountant, they have their real estate broker. They need their finance person, somebody who understands finance and understands their situation and understands the financial planning aspect. And one problem with today's world in financial services is that a lot of financial planners are more of, there's obviously a lot of experts out there, very good experts out there. And I'm not trying to bash anybody out there, but there are some that are very sales driven, meaning that they have their products. Now they have to go out and find people to buy their products. And I think that could be problematic. Sometimes the product is good and you just need them, but sometimes you need more of the expert consultant to help walk you through the process and understand your situation, and then recommend a solution that's going to be relevant to you and actually help connect you to your goals, to grow your brokerage business, to grow your real estate portfolio, to do whatever it is that you want to do financially, to expand financially.
No, I would say that's the point I'm at right now as a broker in a brokerage, is that I have a real estate school online. I have a real estate brokerage. I have a property management division. And now that I have those 3 entities set up and running, now is the time to reach out to somebody, or reach out to you, Sarry, and get the portfolio going as far as investments, because I'd like to have a quadplex, sixplex. I see everybody else out there making money off of this stuff, and like, this is what I want to do. Not only that, but I also am looking for more capital for my business so I can continue to grow with advertising, and also to be able to bring on actual employees. I mean, yes, independent contractors are employees of the broker. I am responsible for independent contractors. Obviously, everybody we're still responsible for those individuals. However, I'd like to be able to bring on like administrative staff that gets paid hourly with salary. But as everyone knows, as a business owner, if you're new and you don't have business credit yet, it's kind of hard to obtain that financing right away. I mean, I'm working on that right now, getting business credit. But at the same time, I like the option that you have available when it comes to the infinite banking, because I want to be able to get off the ground running and start making money in returns from real estate.
Yeah, Nick, I want to add something too. So like, how in the beginning we were talking about like different sources of income for a brokerage, like you're buying, you're listing, you're selling, you're owning your own properties, you're doing property management. There's also another leg that you could add on, or another division, and that could be your syndication division. So what that means is you have experience in real estate. You understand your market very well because you're in your market. You're living in your market. You understand how real estate works. You're working with loan officers and lenders. You're seeing kind of like the idea of how people are buying and selling. What that could mean is that you could start your own syndication now, your own fund, your own private equity fund, and then other people who are limited partners would invest into your fund, and then you could use that money to then buy much bigger properties. So instead of going from your 3-4 unit apartment buildings, you can go to buying 300, 400 unit apartment buildings using syndication. That's where you raise capital from other people in a private equity structure. And you obviously need to talk to a securities attorney, a real estate attorney. You need to have everything properly structured. It's a big deal kind of starting a fund. So you want to make sure it's legally and tax-wise, it's efficient. And then now you could raise capital from outside investors who are either accredited or non-accredited investors, and then go out there and buy those larger complex. And that's something that I have a client right now who's in the same situation, real estate broker, and wants to kind of take everything to the next level and like go after those 300, 400 unit buildings in Chicago. And Chicago, as you know, has a lot of those buildings, a lot of those properties. So
Right.
that's going to be possible through syndication, raising capital. And then even to take it a step further, even after you've raised all the capital from outside investors, you can then take that and then even use that as a down payment and then alongside bank financing. So a property is 100 million, you raise 25 million from outside investors, and then the other 75 million is finance. So you're thinking like, you're thinking like a bank. You're thinking of how do I do things that are much bigger than me, with the help of other people and the help of other tools and methods and legal and tax strategies.
So is that, just out of curiosity, Sarry, was that something that your company, asset protection, do you guys help? Now, obviously, like you said, of course, anybody out there, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm going to, of course, reach out to an attorney, a bit like a security
Yes.
exchange lawyer. I'm also reaching out I'm also talking about recently. This is funny how I know we had to reschedule it this week, but it's funny how things work out, because before our conversation today, our conversation is even more relevant today, because that was the big pressing issues on my brain and my mind was, what can I do? One, to set up my business to sell franchises.
Yes.
Right. Because I love selling real estate and property, which is great. I make money from that. But we know that the big money out there for investor or people is selling franchises, because that's where the big ticket items are. Not only that, like you said, and actually one of my associates has talked about this a couple of times, but in terms of capital funding, as a company, do you set somebody up like me as a broker or brokerage to individuals that are looking to put money into, like you said, an apartment complex with 300 units, or even maybe a commercial property, whether it be a strip mall or an office building, like Class A office space or something like that,
Yeah, absolutely. That is something I am helping. I do have clients, for example, since I'm managing their funds, I'm managing their whole life insurance policies, their cash values. I'm in a situation where I'm making recommendations to invest in real estate, but invest passively. And the distinction between actively investing in real estate versus passive, active is like, just to kind of put it out to make it very basic. Active is you go out there, you find a property, you're talking to the realtor, you're talking to your lender, you're actively involved in the process, you're actively responsible. And then passive is typically, let's say, for example, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you have your full-time job, your W-2 job, you're busy, but you make good money, you make like $200,000-$300,000 a year. I'm not saying that's how much you need to have, but let's just say, for example, you're doing very well in your profession. You want to get involved into real estate, both for the financial benefits as well as the tax benefits of investing into real estate, but you don't have the time to learn how to do it, nor do you want to learn how to do it, but you want just the rewards of it. You could outsource that to a syndication. That's where you have a general partner who runs a private equity firm, and they collect capital from limited partners. And the word limited partner means that it's somebody who's just, all they do is just agree to the terms and then invest the money. Let's say $50,000. That's all they're doing. They're not involved. They don't have to talk to brokers. They don't have to talk to bankers. They don't have to talk to contractors, tenants, nothing. All they do is just invest in the deal. And then the general partner takes care of everything else alongside their operator. They take care of everything else. And the person would get back monthly distributions or quarterly distributions. And then they would also own like a share of the property. And then when it comes time to sell that property, they would get their shares back, their money back, plus the appreciation. Plus, during that time, that process, they can use depreciation to lower their tax liability during that process. So I'm a big fan of passive real estate investing. I think it's phenomenal what you can do with it, especially like how you said, You can even get into commercial where, you could buy self-storage, a self-storage place that has 1,000 units, or more. You and 100 other people could buy that property, and then you can earn the financial benefits as well as some of the tax benefits behind that.
No, this is really incredible information and that you're sharing with me and the listeners and viewers today, because we're gonna definitely have to get together on like a separate chat, like a Zoom or something, to talk about this more, Sarry, because this is exactly where my brokerage and business right now is pivoting towards, because I get frustrated, and I don't know, maybe other people get frustrated too. You see people like, how the heck do they just buy a shopping center? And now we know that this is because they're getting capital funding. People are giving capital to a business owner or a brokerage to be able to put up the money to purchase these properties. So it's like you're thinking like, okay, how wealthy are these people? Yeah, I know there are millionaires and billionaires out there, but at the same time, not everybody that's doing this is a millionaire or billionaire.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
other people to raise capital for them and put it into because I want to be able to, as a brokerage, like I said before, is buy single family homes, buy duplexes, triplexes. And the triplexes, which is cool, is I have the property management, and then I have the limited partner that puts up the capital. I'm making money off of the rents, but also with the limited partner, also get a percentage, right? I would assume from those rents that are collected. Say like 100-unit apartment building, right?
Yes.
Because that's a lot of rent coming in for 100 units, especially if it's like, let's just say $2,000 a month here in Florida, right?
Yeah.
For the rent. So that adds up. So times 100, that means every month or every quarter with a lender or limited partner that puts up the capital, would we negotiate a percentage, or how does that usually work? I mean,
there's different structures, but typically in general, the person who's managing the fund would get a fee from managing the fund. Okay. It could be directly for every dollar involved, or it could be after like a preferred rate. So after 7% or after 8%, then they start getting paid. So it depends on the structure. There's many ways to structure it. One recommendation I have is, there's a lot of people that do this nowadays. There's a lot of people that are general partners that are collecting, raising capital. So if you are interested in investing as a limited partner, you could reach out to us and I can help you do that. Or you could just reach out to like 3 or 4 different people. And I would recommend reaching out to three or 4 different people, interviewing them, getting to know what they're doing, and then investing. Now, if you're also, let's say like that's one angle, is you want to be the limited partner and investing in deals. Now, the other side to it is, let's say you want to be the one who's raising the capital. That's something also we can help you with. We can connect you to the right places. And that's something too that you could do that in a mentoring environment where you're working with other people and raising capital and managing your fund. And like you said, especially the fact that, when you have an agile practice where you're a property management company, you are also buying and selling, you can have numerous sources of income from that one single deal. So yeah, definitely, this is something we definitely help our clients with and are looking to definitely expand in this area.
That's awesome, Sarry. That's awesome information. And like I said, we'll be in touch this coming week or next week to talk about this, because that's where I'm headed. And anybody out there listening, when it comes to business, especially with the way the economy can be up and down. I mean, I know for the most part right now, the economy is pretty strong, but at the same time, it's good to diversify where you invest in or get your financial gain from. Like I said, I have a real estate school, a real estate brokerage, and property management division. But like I said, I want to get into the commercial side as well as capital funding, help going through the infinite banking that you're talking about. That's really awesome information, Sarah. I really appreciate that you were able to come on today and talk about this with our viewers. So.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, and listeners can always reach out to us at, if it's okay, I can share my link.
Of course.
Yeah, it's finassetprotection.com. I can actually type it in right here. It's FIN.
Oh yeah, definitely. Finasset. What was it? The rest of it you said? The
finassetprotection.com. It's in the chat now.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I see it right here. Let me go ahead and share this with you guys. I'll put it on the screen for everybody. And you were really easy to find on Google, on LinkedIn too. When I typed in your name.
Nice.
So anybody that Googles him too, Googles Sarry Ibrahim, you'll be able to find him really easily on here on the internet. So let me go ahead and share this here with everybody. There you guys go. It's on the screen, the finassetprotection.com. All right, Terry. Well, just we'll be in touch. And I guess from your industry, what you do in terms of asset protection, I always ask my guests who are on the show to tell me one maybe piece of advice to leave with for the end of the show here. So what is your piece of advice to our listeners and viewers today?
Yeah, so our show is called Thinking Like a Bank, and the reason why we came up with that name was there's a lot of financial strategies out there you could use to get ahead financially and kind of think smarter, not just work harder. I mean, you obviously want to work hard, but also think smarter, and that's why we named the show Thinking Like a Bank. So kind of think of what like banks would be doing with financing and try to copy those strategies and those methods. So that way, you're thinking like a bank, not just an entrepreneur, not just a real estate broker, not just a real estate investor, but really, thinking like a bank.
That's awesome. All right, Sarry Ibrahim, finassetprotection.com. Very, very grateful to join us from you being up there in Chicago here and me here in Florida. Have a great week, great weekend, and we'll be in touch to talk about my brokerage and capital funding and all that good stuff, okay?
Sounds good, Nick. Thank you so much for having me on.
Sir, thank you, sir. You have a good day as well. Take care, everybody.
This has been Home to All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast. Find Nick on Facebook and Instagram at downtown.expert and also his website, www.downtown.expert, or call or text him at 407-508-8809. Thanks for listening.
Don't spend hours or days looking for your new home. Let a downtown Central Florida expert guide you. I'm Nicholas Acosta, and I'm here to welcome you home. Being a Florida native, I know how exciting, stylish, and convenient the downtown lifestyle can be. From the nightlife scene in the heart of downtown to the natural beauty of Florida. I'm Nicholas Acosta, and I'm here to welcome you home.